SWB audio capture, not registered.
Never underestimate the power of the Schwartz.
One of the things I really love about being here is the families that are here. And we see parents with the family.
I don't play this game.
Yes, I'm trying to find a gentleman doll.
Me too.
I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers.
Oh baby, here we go. Yo, what's up, grinders? How you guys doing? Hope the audio's coming in clear. I definitely still fine-tuning this stuff. Hopefully the that bot that's in the background doesn't mess up in my stream. I still gotta figure out why the hell that thing keeps asking me about my audio. So I gotta figure that out. But oh yeah, it's time, man. Whoa, I wanted to do a news show, and look at this. You just wait for the news, and the content just drops. Fit impromptu grinding. What grinds my gears? I want to thank everybody for coming here. I want to especially thank the VIP grinders, and especially Naruko with the 20 super chat. Thank you so much. That gets me all pumped up. I'm ready to go. I see that. I'm like, woo, woo, woo. I'm ready to go. Dude, this is some wild stuff today. Dude, every Friday grind. Yeah, it's the Friday grind. The Monday morning grind. The Monday afternoon grind. Friday grind. Yo, we got it. Because I want to do some news and things like that. So, as people come in, share this out. I know that, this thing just dropped. It's hot on the internet. People are doing all different takes and all that stuff. And I want to give you my initial take on this. But we've been talking about this for a while. If you're a follower of this channel, about the whole subscription stuff and all those things. And we're going to get into it and see what the Jason Schreier article just dropped about it. But first, brand new for the VIP grinders. I got, I'm always adjusting the club, the Herman Holtz Splits Club, VIP Grindhouse. We got it right here, and I got a new animated one. See if you like it. If you want to be, let's see if it works. Oh yeah! And we got Who Are You? 5 added to the VIP grinders. They're jamming. They're partying in the VIP grind. The VIP lounge is jamming with the VIP grinders. You want to be a VIP grinder, hit that join button, and you'll get your name on this. Listen to party. You don't want to be there with the boosters and the guys crying over the back. Oh, no. Oh, I got to fix it. He goes away. I got to fix it. But, yeah, I've been always adding to the VIP lounge because, dude, we had added. I want to thank everybody for their support, and I want to thank you again, VIP grinders. It means a lot. It keeps me going. It gets me hyped up. You get those grinds, rants. I want to thank everybody. But we got the party going on out there, and we got the people crying in the back. With Booster, Phil, The Fridge, Craig, and Bootleg Joel. They just want to be in this club. They can't. Dude, we're going to say. But you want to be a VIP grinder, hit that join button. I want to thank everybody for their support. And shout out to you and keep partying with Herman Holtz doing splits between the two PlayStations in the VIP lounge where the games do the talking. Speaking about games, we're going to get into it. My goodness. And thank you to the new member. Who are you? Who are you? I always like,
you just made the list.
Oh, shut up. Wendigo Rex, how you doing? Welcome to the VIP Grinder. Thank you so much. You'll be here in the VIP lounge partying with Herman Holtz and friends. Thank you so much for your contribution. I know, right? Isn't it? It is fire, right? I'm going to add some more windows here. The people are partying in here, but I want to thank everybody for doing it there. Thank you, Wendigo. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You get access now to the Herman Holtz Splits and Bootleg Joel's. I can't wait to see Bootleg Joel. He's going to be ready next week. We're going to see Bootleg Joel in the flesh, or in the digital flesh, per se. Can't wait to see some bootlegs. I want to talk to Bootleg Joel. I want to see him drop the number one customer, and it's smash on the floor, and sparks coming out of it. I can't wait. So, I hope my audio's working with this stuff. What the hell's going on? Z's Pet Pig Wilbur with the $2. You bought chorus. Yes, I brought the chorus. We got everybody going on in there. Hopefully my soundboard's working. You guys can hear it. I just was like, this news, dude. Thank you, Z Pets, for that. Spartacus. Yo, that, first of all, Spartacus, the series, the movie. Oh, baby. Spartacus, the series on Stars. My favorite. What an awesome name. Spartacus. Yeah, baby. Take down the Romans. That's right, Spartacus. Take down Phil Ness. But anyway, so what happened? What happened with the news? Hit that like button as you're coming in here. Dude, VC, you found Bootleg Joel? Oh, no, you try to buy Bootleg Joel at Walmart. That's where he lives. But I couldn't find Bootleg Joel. I've been looking. I can't wait to find. I know Frogs picked up Turbo Man. You can't buy Booster because nobody wants Booster. But he got Turbo Man. He got it from Walmart. He got it from Amazon. I didn't get the, and I was like, damn, I want some freaking, I want to find Bootleg Joel, and I want to see the toy. I want Bootleg Joel. If I get Bootleg Joel, it is going to be a giveaway for this channel. The Bootleg Joel giveaway. Yes, Spartacus is incredible. I loved it, man. It was a shame. The initial actor, he died after, oh my God, that was horrible. Yeah, he had like the lymphoma, or he had something, and he died and they had to replace him. But the new guy was just as great. But my goodness, that I love Spartacus. Awesome code name Spartacus. Like it. So what happened today? So, first, and what's interesting, because I wanted to do some news on, and if you haven't seen Spartacus, man, go watch it. It's on Stars. I think it's not even on Netflix. Man, oh man, it is awesome. It's a great movie. Great series. I think it's like 4 seasons. But the first one was incredible. The first season was incredible. But it just got better and better. So I wanted to do, I was going to talk about, the PlayStation Plus offerings and the PlayStation Now. And talking about that stuff. And, just showing, with PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold. And it's Games with Fool's Gold, basically. We're kind of looking at it. And Games with Gold has gone down the shitter tubes. It's done. PS Plus has been delivering. Now, this month, I have to say, the PS Plus giving us that Godfall, but the end game of Godfall, it's a little gymnast right there. I'm not a fan. I played Godfall, I beat it, and I stopped at the end game because I didn't want to play anymore. Now they're giving you the end game. They just give us the whole game because nobody's going to play it anymore. Godfall was weak. It looked good. It was a good visual game, but it wasn't that great. But they're giving it in PlayStation Plus. You got to say, hey, They've been consistent with PlayStation Plus, giving you at least one PS5 game. They gave Control. They give you at least a PS5 game, a launch game, or something like that. And then they give you either the PS4 games, at least 3. And then they've been giving VR games in the last couple of months as well. They gave a VR per month. And they've been doing a crazy offering. That PlayStation Plus, I would say, even kind of competes against some of the offerings in Game Pass, like with some of the new stuff. Game Pass at least has more, right? They give you more stuff. Yo, what's up, Game of Despair? How you doing? But they give you some more stuff. But I would say PlayStation Plus has been really hitting it out of the park for most of the year. They had some down months of, obviously. Mortal Shell, yeah, that came out with it. But Games of Gold, this forgettable stuff. They're like Tropico 4, just horrible games. Like they since Game Pass last year, Games of Gold has been horrible, not good at all. But Randy pitching the show over there. Yeah, that Godfall. Not doesn't have more, but I mean that they give more games out than PlayStation Plus. I mean PlayStation Plus, not PlayStation Now. This is going to be. I'm glad they're fixing it in this news. But PlayStation Plus gives you like 3 games a month. Game Pass is giving you more per month, more games. Indie games, things like that. But I would say that the offerings that PlayStation Plus are giving you are more than, I think they're better, more current games than what you'll see in Games with Gold. So the shift has been there. And then on top of that, they really shifted PlayStation Now, to give you some more games, and they start putting their exclusives in there. So everybody wants to know what happened. All right. What happened? Here we gonna go. We're going to go to the news. So, on Jason Schreier released, holy damn, it's over there. Holy Spirit activity. So, Jason Schreier said this, a scoop. Scoops McGee. Scoops. He's scoop. Jason Schreier, he's sniffing in those urinals. He's sniffing around, man. He's getting the scoops. So, his news today. Speaking about, oh, damn, I got to get over here. So wild here. This is some wild times here. Scoops! Sony is planning a new subscription service codenamed Spartacus to take on Xbox Game Pass. It's being pitched as a 3-tier service that will merge PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus. Highest tier, hear this, could include PS1, PS2, and PSP games. Now, oh my, oh my, oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my. So, I applaud them merging the two, PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now, because I think it's it is basically confusing. I do think that sometimes they interact with each other too much. Like you'll get a game in PlayStation Plus and it'll be in PlayStation Now, and you know, some redundancy between the two of them. And but PlayStation Now gives you more games per month. And it has the streaming with all of the games, and you download all the PS4 games that are in there. They have yet to put PS5 games in there, really. Or actually they did, well, they put PS4 versions of the games in there. Some of them may like tweak up. I know I use PlayStation Now to get me that finesse that Hitman 2 backwards compatibility. Getting those Hitman 2 maps and Hitman 3, I did some finessing there. But otherwise, they offer a lot of games, and they've been putting some of their first party games in there. And then PlayStation Plus has been really delivering on games each month. But Sony had the services, they just didn't have a good like consolidation of them. And Microsoft since consolidated their Xbox Live with Game Pass real quick and stuff. So the first thing people are saying is like it competes with Game Pass, so immediately people go day one games. Right? Yeah, there it is. Sony's doing exactly what Microsoft's doing. Phil was right.
Oh yeah, you bet your ass I was right. Day one games don't compromise quality. This is Phil Ness.
Means when I think about Xbox, I'm going to think about quality games. We have work to do there. We haven't done our best work over the last few years with our first party output.
That's always been a hit on the company on that. Whenever I hear some criticism.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say always. Like I think we've gone through times
not to
where
throw mud on you, but I have to know that's a fair. I think it's something fair to say.
It is fair to say, and
oh yeah. So let's see. James Schreier goes here. This new service, expected in the spring, will likely retain the PlayStation Plus branding. So don't expect Sony to include its big new games day one like Game Pass does. But the expectation is a stronger offering than PlayStation Now. Jim Ness. Yeah, Jim Ness. So crazy is that I think that's going to be the biggest differentiator between the two of them if this launches, and the fact that Microsoft's putting their day one games in there, and they committed to that. They have that is the plan. Sony doing it, they already said that that's not lucrative to them. And he's saying in here, expect this in the spring. Now remember, early next year, they're going to add Discord stuff too. But the one thing that I think is very interesting is here is the PS1, PS2, and PSP games in the third highest tier. So this is pretty crazy that they needed to merge, because I think it was confusing PS Now and PS Plus. And that's right. It's really nothing like Game Pass, because Game Pass is totally different. And if people wanted to dismiss, and this is where the internet's gone wild. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm not reading this trash on Twitter. I'm not going to no stupid Twitter space and talk some bull. I'm coming on to the Grindhouse, and I'm going to tell you the way it is. All right? I read the news. I tell you where it is. I don't need to read the finesse and the horse shit that's on the internet, because it is. That's what all it is. Xbox guys go, and we told you so, rubbing nipples. PlayStation guys go, and we care about the quality. Now they're like, oh, tell me you don't like to subscribe to services. This is all horse shit. Let me tell, because everybody just wants to have selective memory here. PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now PlayStation Now has been there before even Game Pass even existed. Streaming games sucked, but now they're good because they got an X in front of it called xCloud. Now streaming is wonderful. PS Now sucked because it was streaming, but then they disbanded the whole streaming thing with the PS3 games when they started adding PS4 games to it. Now you can natively download over 400 and something games on it, but people don't want to talk about that. And for $5 a month instead of $15 a month. But all of a sudden, PS Now was just some bull. Well, now what? They're using PS Plus to leverage PS Now and combining it together to offer a bunch of games that they could do. You know what this does, Grinders? Well, actually, before I get into what it does, let's get into what the article says. So this is what he says. Scoops McGee. He goes, is planning a new subscription service to rival Microsoft's popular Game Pass. From Bloomberg's. The service, codenamed Spartacus, will allow PlayStation owners to pay a monthly fee for accessing a catalog of modern and classic games. They already have that. Said the people who asked not to be identified. Yeah, okay. The offering will likely be available on the PS4 and also on the PS5. When it launches, expected in the spring, the service will merge Sony's 2 existing subscription plans, Plus and Now. Currently, Plus is required for most of online games and offers free monthly games, which have been pretty good, while PlayStation Now allows users to stream and download older games. Older games, because they have released new games day one and stuff in PlayStation Plus. Not theirs, like Oddworld, some indie games they put in there. The PlayStation Plus, they've done that. And the documents reviewed says that they will still plan to phase out PlayStation Now, but keep the PlayStation Plus name, which I think is smart. What's up, Tools? How you doing, man? So that's about it. So now everybody whiling on the internet about this stuff because they're basically going like, we told you so. Sony's doing the same thing as Microsoft and all this other stuff, right? Well, Sony has been doing things like Sony, I said, will put games on PC. They're dabbing in everything, right? But when you look at the library that Sony has with the 1, the 2, and PSP, they could just leverage that stuff. And bringing that stuff to a console, I think they're seeing the success with the backwards compatibility. And I think Microsoft has done a great job with the backwards compatibility and adding value to older games. Even though that's not the problem I had with what they are doing, is that they're trying to use that as like the be all and end all why you want to get a new system without having the new stuff at launch play your old games better. That doesn't really work when they're trying to sell a new console. You got to have some new content. That's my problem, the way they handled it. But backwards compatibility, what they did was really incredible, what they did with the backwards compatibility. They added value to older games. Games that probably won't make any money, now people will go buy them again because they're supported. And now, if Sony does this, now the question is are these games going to be supported natively? Because I don't think so. I bet you they might be streaming, or I know when we saw the Cerny thing. Hi, it's Mark Cerny. Do you remember my phone? Do you remember what I talked about? I said that there was a PS4 built into the PS5. Glorious. But there was a little space. I don't know if I could grab that little space, but I show you that there's a little space right there. Right nestled underneath that PS4. There was a little space right there. And I didn't tell you what was in that space. Oops, maybe you found out. Maybe it's some hardware to do some backwards compatibility games. I don't know, Mark Cerny, but you can put everybody to sleep. But basically, there was a space underneath the PS4 when they'll talk about the emulation of the PS4, saying basically a PS4 is built into the PS5, to run these games natively. But there was a space there when he did his Mark Cerniness. And let's see if I can find that Mark Cerniness over here. Let me see if I could find it, because I know that some people talked about it. I think who it was? It was oh damn, I forget his name. Hold on. Let me get to the right here. What is it? Mark Cerny Show. Mark Cerny Show. Cerny PS5 slides or something like that. What the hell did he show? He showed some stuff here. Here it is. Hi, Mark Cerny. Let's see. Where is it? This when he showed it. Is this it? I'm trying to find it right now. Where he did that image. Because some people try to point it out that when he was showing this. Is this it? No. When he talks about emulation and backwards compatibility. Here it is. They thought, yeah, this is what I was referring to. Some people took this image and were like, okay, yeah, you got your PS5, you got your PS4, PS4 Pro, and they were just waiting to see PS3 or PS2 down here, right? That's what they were waiting for. They were looking to see, like, oh, yeah, over here, like, put the other emulations. And it was Oh man, the guy who works on whatever. It was I forget his name. But he's saying that he heard some internal stuff that what the hell is his name? He runs around with the WWE Championship. I forget his name. He works for Hot 97. I forget. Grinders help me out. But he brought it up saying like there's going to be support for the older legacy systems. He said he heard it. And this was like last year when he said after he did this thing. I forgot his name. If Grinders remember his name and I'll bring it up. But he has it's on the tip of my tongue, I forget. But basically he had the thinking that they were going to have the emulation here. Well, if it's going to be native, that's pretty awesome. I don't know if it's going to work like how Xbox backwards compatibility works. And if it's Hip Hop Gamer, thank you, Sam Ash. That's who it is. Hip Hop Gamer. He was saying like, there's going to be legacy support for the older games, the PS1 and PS2 games. So he said it back then. And I know Jimbo doesn't like old games, but he'll like to resell you them. That's Jim Ness right there. Jim Ness. Yeah, he'll like to resell you some old games. But again, the point that people forget to see is like their hypocrisies with all these freaking executives. I don't give a shit. Jim Ness, Phil Ness, they're all Nesses. But let me tell you, but the difference is that one company was bringing you new games, new IP, new stuff. Thanks, Frogs. What's up, man? You're bringing you new stuff. Whereas Microsoft was relying on just the old games. Hey, and I have a example. I bought the Series X, and the first game that I played on was Gears 4. Every other generation of my Xboxes, I played the new game that came out with the system. The Series X was the only one that I had to play. Gears 4 was my launch title for Series X. That should tell you something. When I'm looking through my 20-year history of Xbox, I look and I'm like, every game was a new game at launch. I had Rise for the Xbox One, for the 360. I had their launch games. I think it was a Call of Duty, but whatever new game came out. But for the Series X, there was no new game. I had to play Gears 4, 2-year-old game, year-and-a-half-old game, dude. That's a problem. You're relying on your legacy and not bringing new stuff. Hey, you want to give me Horizon, Forbidden West, God of War, get exclusives like Forspoken and Final Fantasy 16. You could do this stuff and then say, and you could play your PlayStation 1 and 2 games too. Dude, that's having your cake and eating it too. That's totally different. I could have played Gears Tactics, you're right, but I played it on PC in February. Because remember, it wasn't a console game at all. So I played it on PC in February. So Gears Tactics wasn't new for me. So there you go. Because remember, that was a PC exclusive. Good job, Microsoft. You got a console, but screw the console. Let's put it exclusive on PC. That's them. But the interesting thing is like you're getting the new with the old. Don't just give me the old. That's on me. You're right, Tex-Mex. I had the Falconeer, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I could have been flying like a friggin' bird. Oh, damn. Yeah, I messed that up. That's right. You're right. I had the Falconeer. Goddamn, Phil. I'm sorry, Phil. You did give me the Falconeer. But the interesting thing is, like, they have this catalog. Now, I don't want to stream it. Like, I really don't want to play PS2 games streamed over the internet. Because I can tell you, from playing PS3 games, they look rough. And then with the internet streaming and stuff, they look even, they don't look that good. So I hope it's native. I hope there's native downloads. I know they did that with some of the PS3 games. The PS3 games, PS2 games, they remastered them like in 1080p and made them natively play on the PS4. So hopefully they start doing that with these games if they are going to do this higher tier. I hope it's not just streaming PS1 games because they're going to look rough and they're going to look even rougher streaming on the internet. So I'll be interesting to see what they plan on doing with that. But I think the biggest, thing that everybody's flipping out about is that they're copying Xbox. This proves that Game Pass is a good service. Listen, if you've been on this channel and you know, Game Pass is a great service. It's perfect for people who have not experienced those games already, for people that want some indie games, some games in between the big blockbusters. But pause. There's the problem. Big blockbusters. You wait all year for 2 months? Because guess what? After next week, you're back to waiting. Wait to E3, dudes. Wait to E3. Wait to E3. What are you looking for from their first party? What? From their first party, you got Starfield. And maybe they're going to announce Forza Motorsport at the Game Awards. Wait until next November? Sony got a lineup. A lineup for the whole year. So the difference is that Game Pass is nice to keep you satisfied in between the blockbuster games. But where are the blockbuster games? Plus, Microsoft committed their whole entire first party to launching day one. And my biggest problem with Game Pass is the compromises that are made for their day one first party games. I feared it 2 years, 3 years ago. I played it so many times on here about Halo. Halo day one in a subscription service? What the hell does that look like? Fearmonger!
Fearmonger! Negativity!
Yeah, all this stuff. And look what happened. They cannibalized Halo. They turned Halo into a friggin' piecemeal a Terminator. They tell me Stalker 2's release date, and that was it, a 3-month exclusive? Redfall, tell me what that game looks like. Yeah, good job. Because I don't know. Unless you're up Phil Spencer's ass, I have no clue. What are those games? Are they what is Redfall? Is that a service game? We saw some leaked screenshots and everybody screamed alpha. Hell, we've been playing a friggin' Halo beta for the last 6 months, and they still said they gotta fix it. So what are we doing here? Philmonger, that's right. So what does first-party games look? What is Starfield going to look like? Is that going to be a 100-hour game like Bethesda's games dropped in a service? Hopefully. Hopefully there's no online shenanigans. There's no battle passes. There's no friggin' seasons. I hope not. And that's the problem. What Game Pass did to gaming, what it did to the first-party games that Microsoft has outputted, that's the stuff. That's the problem I have with Game Pass. Not the service itself. It's great because I do subscribe to PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, and I have some Game Pass, but I use Game Pass to jump on and play games then when they offer them that I want to play and then jump off. But also it's $15 a month. Whereas PlayStation Now, it's $5 a month. It's you get even cheaper. It's friggin' $40, $44 a year. That is negligible to have access to all those games. Yeah, throw them. I don't get it. But when you're paying $15 a month, you better be giving me something every other month, though. $15 a month. I'm sort of looking at you sideways when you just give me some sort of bunch of indie games and stuff. You need to have months like Outriders and MLB The Show. That should be happening every other month. And you saw what happened this year. MLB in The Show and then Outriders dropped. And then in another month or so, it was like, yeah. And then it picked up again now with Forza and Halo. And Forza is a perfect case of what they need. Back for ass. There you go. Here's a banger. Double banger, back for ass.
Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
Back for ass. So, the thing is that we've spoken about if Nintendo and Sony flip the switch, they flip it. And they go, you know what, Game Pass? That looks good. You know what? I'm going to do the same thing that you're doing. I'm going to get a service just like you. Now, it's been stated multiple times over here. Jason Schreier says that their day one games will not be coming to Game Pass. Well, a PlayStation Pass. P-Pass. PP service. Now, do I believe that? No, I don't. What? Do I believe that Sony first-party games, like no Sony first-party game will launch in this service? No, I don't. I don't trust anybody. I could see Sony's going to... The difference between the two of them is Microsoft went balls deep too early, and Sony's just sticking the tip. Sony's just tip-tabbing where they want to go. I'll let you in for 1 second. I got to mess stuff around, though. I'll let you in. But let me just say, like, Sony is going to dab into everything. Microsoft just committed to games. They weren't even making the games that they were committing. They're like, all of our first-party games are going in the service. And then Phil went back to Satya going, oh, shit, we need some games. Satya's like, go buy some studios. Holy shit, you just made a promise to the world saying everything's going into Game Pass day one from our studios. What do you got? I need to check. I'm gonna go buy some studios. All right, who's about to shut down their doors? Hey, sir, did I tell you about the service that has Game Pass? I heard that you're going out of business, studios. Would you like to? Here's a check. Would you like to come in here? Would you like to be part of our studios? Dude has his backpack on. He goes, shit, I was shutting this in exile down. I was retiring, dude. I was going to Florida. I was leaving. Phil's like, no. Wait. Become part of our family. Here's a check. Come join us. Sure, you gonna pay me? I'll buy you brunch every Sunday. You like mimosas? I'll give you some mimosas. Okay, good. Come on in. Phil goes to the next studio. Anybody home? Hey. Oh, shit. It looks abandoned. Wait a second. Oh, there's a dude in the back of the computer. Compulsion. Hey, come over. Yo, we suck, man. That game sold like shit. We're done. We're shutting this thing down. I'm going home. I'm done. I can't make game. Phil's like, wait a second. Whoa, wait a second. See this check? You want to be part of our studios? Mimosas on Sundays. Brunch. Take some pictures with Greenbergs. Back rubs in the lobby. And I'll give you this money here. Oh, shit. I was about to shut down the studio. Come join Microsoft Studios. We'll rebrand you. All you got to do is whatever you're making next, whatever's on that computer there, you just got to put it in our service, Game Pass. Get over here. I made a promise. I said every single one of my games are coming to Game Pass, but I had no games. So I got to buy some studios. So join us. So whatever you're making, I don't know, bleeding ass, some things about running around as a midgets, come on in, make the game. Whatever you want to make, as long as it goes into my Game Pass, because I promised the boss and the world that all our games are going into a service. Problem is, they caught my finesse. I don't got the games. So I got to go buy it. So here's the check. Mimosas on Sunday, back rubs in the lobby. We're good. And then Phil went on a buying spree. Todd Howard was like, shit, Fallout 76 sucks balls. I didn't make it, but that sucks. ZeniMax is like, bitch, that sucks. Todd Howard took his bomber jacket and goes, I don't know what to do. I'm making the Starfield game. I need money. Who's that?
Ooh, it's Phil S. What's up, Todd? See this little check right here? $7 billion. I'm gonna buy your ass. All you gotta do is put all your games in Game Pass. Oh yeah.
He gave them the sultry voices of Phil Ness, and Todd Howard jumped right on it. $7 billion, let's go. I was about to shut it. I was shitting bricks. Let's go. $7 billion. We're good. We're good. Sony's not doing that right now. Sony's making their games. They know Horizons. They know God of Wars. They got Forspoken deals. They got Final Fantasy 16 deals. They're doing it. And then they go, you know what, on the back end, let's get some subs too. And let's put some games on PC. Let's finesse those dudes. Let's get them over there. Let's put some games. Now, do I believe day one games on Sony services? You bet your ass. But it's not the games that you think it's going to be. That's the thing. They're making so many games. And Sony's not going to commit to it. It's going to be, guess who? That's why it triggers everybody, because Sony is just they're putting their toe in the water, they're stepping out. It's like, Sony, you gonna jump in the pool or not? And they're like, just testing the waters. Just so I can pull out, because if it's friggin' too cold, I'm not jumping in head first. Phil Spencer ripped off all his clothes, bare ass, jumped right into the friggin' ice leak. He's like, shit, here we go. Phil Spencer, he just said Xbox Game Pass. He's like, shh. He just ripped off all the clothes, bare ass, jumped into the ice waters. He had no games. He just said, fuck, it's all going to Game Pass. Save Xbox. Woo! Head first. Herman Hulst and Jim Ness are like, whoa. They didn't even put their bathing suit on yet. They're like, I don't even know if I want to go in the waters yet. They put my toe, I don't know, man. I don't know. They put their toe in PC. They're like, oh, shit. Look, it's selling some money. Ooh. Okay, put another game on PC. Maybe I'll put my whole foot in the water right now. But I'm going to tell you, know what games are going to probably be in this PlayStation Pass? I'm going to let Frogs in now. Know what game's going to be in that first one? And people are going to go bonkers, but you're going to hear it here right first. The Last of Us multiplayer. Oh, yeah. Last of Us multiplayer will be one of the first things that goes in there, and people are going to lose their balls. They're going to be like, oh, Sony day one. Woohoo, I told you Phil was right. But I told you this. If you want to run around the internet and go that this justifies that Phil is right, that Game Pass is the let me tell you something. Microsoft has a history of doing something, and then somebody comes along and does it better, and then Microsoft backs out. Groove Music was the first streaming service to stream music when people were paying a la carte for iTunes. Zune allowed you to unlimitedly subscribe for $10 a month and get all the music you want to listen to on the Zune. This was before Spotify, before Tidal, before YouTube Music, before all these services, Apple Music, before all of them. And where's Groove Music now? Yeah, they were the first. And they're gone. Microsoft has a history of doing something, taking their initiative. But they're either too slow to do it because they're a huge company and it takes forever to have that big ass ship turn the page. But I said when Sony and Nintendo flip the switch and say, you know what? We're going to put all our games in Game Pass. What happens? Grinders, what happens? What do they have? Nintendo and Sony have been building on the library for these years. PS4 brought us all those amazing games, Ghost of Tsushima, all that stuff. They have legacy games, the PlayStation 2 games, PlayStation 1. They got a whole library of games that they've been building on. So once they say, guess what, dude, that's in a service, that service is going to light up like Times Square because the content is there. Microsoft relied on old content without bringing new stuff. So now, when you're subscribing, the new stuff is lacking. And that's the problem that they have. Sony's been building these libraries. When we sat here and you said Xbox has no games, and all of a sudden they released 2 games, and everybody's like, woohoo, the Xbox has games now, so stop it. The damage has been done already over the last 6 years. They didn't put anything new in that service. It's games that you played when you were like the old games, played better. Meanwhile, Sony built a whole generation of PS4 games. They started it with the PlayStation Plus collection. But now, they're giving you new stuff plus the library that they have built. They have the content. They have it there. They have the IP. All those years building that stuff, they could leverage God of War 2018 right now. Where's Microsoft's God of War? What was Microsoft's 2018? Bueller. Where was Microsoft in 2018? What games did they release in 2018 that people give a shit about right now? You know what they did? Gots. They got nothing in 2018. God of War, Spider-Man. Sony can milk that shit now. That's what they're doing. They're putting it in PlayStation Plus now. PlayStation Now. They're like, here you go. Here it is. Remember that game? Because they built the library. So when Sony says, guess what? Now we're serious about this. We're going to merge these things together, put it as one PlayStation subscription. You better watch how this shit is done. Because I'm telling you, they're going to take all the missteps that Microsoft made. They're going to see what Microsoft's doing, and they're going to do it better. This is just the way the cookie crumbles. And if you look at what the people on the internet are saying, I'm telling you, this right now, and this is what I didn't understand about Xbox fans, what they were doing. I'm going to let Frogs in here. They were saying Sony needs to do what Xbox does. 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 And I'm like, why, dude? You should shut up. Because if Sony does what Xbox does, you still lose. Do you understand that? Because Sony has the games, huh?
Enough from me. We're going to have the games do our talking.
Jim Ness. Sony has the games. They have the library. They've been building this. They could leverage that stuff in a service. You're still waiting for the games, the promises, the 6 years in the development. Halo comes nuded. And now you're looking at bootleg Joels and all this other stuff, this reboot. And what does Fable look like? In Perfect Dark, made by the stunt double Crystal Dynamics. How's that Spider-Man look? Bootleg Spider-Man. Friggin' nuded his ass. That's the studio that's working on Perfect Dark. I'm gonna bootleg friggin' Joanna Dark. The games. So that's why when you're like, Sony, PlayStation, do what Xbox does. Dude, careful what you wish for. That's right. That's what I mean. Like, you asked for this. Well, here it comes. You asked for the slap. Slap is coming. It's coming. You asked. You said Sony should do what Xbox. Here you go. PlayStation Plus. Hey, all backwards compatibility. Sony doesn't do that. Ha 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 ha. Well, shit. You better watch it. If they put PS1, 2, and stuff in a service for $15 a month with all those legacy games and the games from the PS4 era, giving you all those games that they built upon, you are in deep shit. And you want to know the last point before I bring in the Frogs. And Frogs gives his point. The last point I'm going to say right now. Shit, let me go into Discord. Frog be flipping out. But no, I'm going to say the last thing too is know what this does? If this is true, again, Scoops McGee. He went in there, Scoops. But I'm going to tell you this. If Sony has a subscription pass that is comparable to Game Pass, right? Guess what that does, grinders? Hit that like button. Guess what it does? That doesn't hit the like button, but I ask you to hit the like button. But know what that does? There's Frogs. He's there here. You know what it does? It puts, and this is what Sony's been doing if you haven't been paying attention, because I think it's friggin' crazy. But what Sony's been doing is been putting more and more pressure on Microsoft's first party. Because now the Outriders, the back for ass, all those third-party games that Microsoft was using throughout the year to leverage Game Pass while their studios are eating brunch and drinking mimosas. 2 years in the making. Fable, I don't know, it's a couple of years. Well, guess what? Now, if Sony has a comparable service, Sony's going to get those games too. It's going to be the battle of timed exclusivity, right? So what does that do? It creates an even bigger dynamic to say, well, here's Sony's first party, Microsoft. What's yours look like? Your service is going to be built. We're taking away all that third-party finesse that you do, those indies and all that little finesse that you're doing over there. Well, guess what? We're going to put a service right now, and we're going to go get those games too in our service starting in the spring. Now what are you going to have? And Microsoft's going to be like, shit. They called our bluff. Why do you think Sony's actively on this stuff? They know Microsoft doesn't have the first-party games coming. They're still in development. Either that's going to cause their games to rush out, but Microsoft is in this building phase. Sony's kicking the door down while they're still trying to make dinner. You understand? Yeah, Spartacus that knocked down Halo. But do you understand? Like, basically, Sony's putting even more pressure on Microsoft's first party by offering a service that's going to be more aggressive, that's going to be trying to get the same kind of games that Microsoft's getting in Game Pass. The Ascent and all this other shit, all these other indie games and all this other stuff, Sony's going to capitalize on that. And they're going to be like, hey, you know what? It's going to be our first party versus your first party. Your service now is going to be measured solely based on your... And I always said this, the success of Game Pass cannot be on MLB The Show. It's not going to be on Outriders. The success of Game Pass is going to rely on Microsoft's first party and if they could deliver. It's always been that way. Who's that? Who's that? DZ Digital. PS Now Plus, they have been. But you can't say that, DZA. You can't say that because people just want to ignore the services that Sony has. Sony's behind on services. It's like they got better games than PlayStation Plus. You want to know what else? PlayStation Now, you could play all those games online without having PlayStation Plus. Try to do that with Game Pass. You want to play Sea of Thieves and you don't own the $15 Game Pass Ultimate? Well, good luck. You can't play Sea of Thieves because you don't have Xbox Live. PlayStation Now, they put in Borderlands 3. You could play that online because you don't need PlayStation Plus for PlayStation Now. But nobody wants to talk about those differences. Nah, we don't talk about that. Nah. I do think, though, and Spades, though, I do think it's going to be like $15 for that third tier. I think so. I think that's going to be like their Game Pass Ultimate. But this is interesting. I think it's crazy. I think this puts even more competition on Game Pass, and it forces Microsoft to either up the quality of their first-party games, because that's the differentiator in this whole thing, is Microsoft's first-party games. Like, that's it. If Sony's going to try to get the games that they're putting in Game Pass, those third-party games, those indie games, Microsoft's all going to be left there with their pants down and exclusives in their hands. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be, Game Pass success is going to be based on Starfield, Fable, Perfect Dark, whatever Gears is making, whatever Avowed is. That's going to be the lifeline for Game Pass. That's it. We'll see. I'll let Frogs in here. Frogs! Am I in here? Frogs, can you hear me?
Yo.
Sorry, man. Yo, I didn't get this stuff out. I had to work on my friggin' Discord stuff, man. It's crazy.
Man, so I've been seeing the news. I've been seeing people go crazy.
It's
over
wild,
it.
Man.
And I have a theory.
Sure. What is it? Spit. I gotta get a drink.
I called that PlayStation was going to merge PlayStation Now with PlayStation Plus at some point. I called this probably years before.
Yes, you did. You said they had to do this. They should have.
I said they had to do this, and now that I'm seeing this so-called scoop rumor, 3 tiers, I think that Sony will be smart just to do, and this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to do a silver, gold, and platinum tier. Your silver tier will be $29.99, and all you get is the online capabilities. You can play your games online. You don't get your discounts on PlayStation Plus. You don't get the free games every month. Then you get your $59.99, which is just that's going to be your gold tier, which is just like regular PlayStation Plus that you have now. You can get your discounts. You can get your free games every month, so forth. And then you have your platinum tier, where it includes the PS Now, and they're gonna rename PS Now to something else. I think
it's all PS Plus.
It,
he says that they in the article. He says they're just gonna do PS Plus.
I think they call it PlayStation Plus,
which is the more recognizable.
They're gonna have a silver, gold, and platinum tier. The platinum tier will be $99 a year. That streaming service that you have, what they're gonna do is they're gonna start off and say, here's about 10 PS1 games. Oh, and by the way, they're upres to blah 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 blah. They have trophy support. That's what they have to do to win the people over. Because if you just throw PS1 games in there, PS2 games in there, it's like, okay, PS1. But I've noticed, and I don't know if anybody's noticed this, PlayStation, with the PlayStation 4 generation, they were throwing PS1 and PS2 games, but they had trophy support. They were redid with trophy support. And I think they were testing the waters like, hey, do people want to play some of these games? Here's a PlayStation 1 game, we'll throw some trophies on. Here's a PS2 game, we'll throw some trophies on. And I said, you know what? We could probably get away with doing some of these games. And I think here's the key thing. I think that the PS1 and PS2 games will be native. I think the PS3, I think the PS3 games, they still will have to be streamable. I think that's the only hurting factor. Is PS3 will be the only console you'll have to stream. I think the other ones you'll have the option you can stream or you can download natively. I just don't think they're going to have a good enough PS3 emulator. Mm-hmm. I do think PS5 games will be included with this, and I think it's the smaller PS5 titles, like something like a game like Fist. I think you get games like Fist, and I think you get games like what's another game like what's that game that just came out recently? It's called Solar Ash. You get games like Solar Ash and Fist and the Binding of Isaac and stuff like that. You're not
stuff that Game Pass would get. That's what I was saying. They put the pressure on.
You're not going to get your new Saints Row games and Tiny Tina's Wonderland. How you get? And here's what I'm gonna basically say. Anybody who's looked at Game Pass over the past, let's just say, year or two, anybody who's looked at Game Pass, you can look at new games coming out and tell if it's a Game Pass type of game or not. You can. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like you can. You can look at a game like Blair Witch Project and say, yeah, that's a Game Pass type of game. Mm-hmm. Death's Door is. It would have been cool to be in Game Pass, but that game is definitely not a Game Pass type of game. It deserves to make the money it makes because it's a good game. So my whole thing is like, I think Sony will get the onesies and twosies. The games that Sony gets, like Fist, that game would have been in their whole PlayStation Platinum model. 12 minutes. I think Microsoft had that. They had Blair Witch. A lot of games we're seeing that were on Xbox, they're not coming to PlayStation 4, which they were considered exclusive, which they're not. I will honestly say, unless something is owned by the companies, I look at the company and say, I don't know if they're going to be exclusive or not. But you're never going to see a Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy in a service like this. You're not going to see games like that. You're not going to see a game like. You'll see games.
It depends on how hard they're gonna push. Like they said, they're gonna do a stronger offering. So I think they're gonna push a lot for those games that Game Pass is getting in the service. Like that's what I think they plan on doing.
Here's the thing. Let's just say they both get the same game. Let's say they both getting games like like Alan Wake remaster.
Yeah.
Let's say they're both getting games like Back for Ass. Let's say if PlayStation and Microsoft getting the same games, that really doesn't. It hurts Microsoft's bottom line because it's like, damn, not only does PlayStation have a service that's similar to yours, they're getting the same games. I think they obviously have to get some of the different games, and I think Sony gets more. And I'm just going to say this: Sony gets more of the big Japanese games that wouldn't sell. They're kind of niche. They're really niche. They sell 1 or 2 million, and Sony's like, we'll pay that 1 or 2 million fee, and we'll put it in our service. And we know that people will buy into this service because you got to think about it. And this is why I honestly think that it's going to this the key factor will hurt or make or break this service if it does come to fruition. If the PS1 and the PS2 games have native support and they have trophy support, which I think they may possibly have, that will help people who are already in the ecosystem of PlayStation. Also, the price. I think that what will shock people is, and because it's one of those things, it's kind of like a mind fuck. You can tell a person PlayStation Now Silver is only $29.99 a year, and what you get is you get to play all your games. You get to keep. You just don't get your PlayStation Plus games and your discounts. But if you want to keep continuing, we have a service for you, PlayStation Gold, and you get your $59.99. You get the same service you have now with all your online features, but you get your 4 games a month, and you get your discounts. But if you want a bigger and better for the buck, and you want an all-inclusive package, you can go to our Legacy package, our PlayStation Platinum, and you can get your PS1, your PS2, your PS3, your PS4, and soon to come PS5 games in there with your discounts. And, I don't know, 10% off all your purchases that you buy. It's a no-brainer situation that a lot of people that were in that $59.99 price are going to go to $29.99. Sony still makes money hand over fist because it's a service, right? So PlayStation Plus, Xbox Live is a service. A lot of people would rather pay the $29.99 a year just to play online. And they're like, I don't care about the free games. I just want to play online. And they buy the ones and twosies. But then you have some people who are like, I'm paying $40 more and I'm getting this huge library. Plus I get 10% off the games in the library if I want to buy them or own them. People will do that. But the key thing is the legacy titles they put in there. If they're putting games in there like, I don't know, let's just do some Legends of Dragoon with trophy support, and they up-res it with, they clean it up, kind of like remaster a little bit, just clean it up.
Yeah.
Here's trophy support. Here's the Toomba. Here's Kaluna. Here's some of our
Dude, they have such a friggin' library. Like, it is insane.
Right. Yeah. They have such a big library. And this is why I think Nintendo.
Well, actually, I just want to bring up something. So somebody wrote,
go ahead.
DZA asked, he goes, do you think Sony is actually making this move to compete with Nintendo? And actually, that's even, we're talking about Game Pass. You want to know what, DZA? That's a great point because, like, I think, like, look, he says also
they're not
with
competing with Microsoft, they're competing with Nintendo.
That's what I mean.
I'm going to tell you,
and
because I was about to bring this point up when I brought Nintendo up. I think that Sony saw what Nintendo was doing, and they were like, "Yo, they have this service, and you can play these games, and they're streaming, and they're little games."
Look how much they're charging too for the N64 and Sega.
And here's the thing: only watch Nintendo fluff it up because Nintendo's service is bad with this.
Oh my god,
they fluffed it up, and Sony's watching Microsoft's mistakes. And Sony, if anybody hasn't noticed, I've constantly said this: Sony has always been able to capitalize off of what the mistakes of the other two have been doing.
Yeah, you said it on Monday. You said they're quiet because they're sniping. They're snakes. They're like waiting.
And here's the other thing. I don't know if you've seen this rumor. Sony has this patent out there with this. It looks like a PS4 kind of design you can clip to your phone. I think that Sony's service, it includes that, and they say, hey, if you want to play it on the go, you snap this on your phone. It's like a little PS4 little dongle thing. You snap iPhone, Android phone, whatever.
Strap-on. Sony strap-ons.
Hold on. And you can play, you can stream it on the go. And they compete with xCloud like that. I think that Sony, people got to remember, Sony's been in this whole streaming thing longer than Microsoft, a lot longer.
Yeah.
They've been there. When they purchased Gaikai, Sony thought ahead. Microsoft jumped the gun and said, hey, our games aren't selling. We got to put them in the service, which really Microsoft didn't have to. They just need to make better games.
Yeah, but the problem with the stream is that Microsoft got into streaming because Satya wanted the company to be in streaming because of the whole gaming got pulled into Microsoft's big vision of getting Office 365 and Windows all on subscriptions, where PlayStation did it specifically for gaming. Like they didn't try, like they said we're gonna stream games for gaming, like with the whole on live and access and stuff. Microsoft got into it because the company was going in that way, and gaming just got pulled into it.
And Microsoft also got into it because they're afraid of Google. They're terrified
and
of
Amazon,
Google.
exactly.
And Amazon. So, and they knew if they didn't do it, one of those other two competitors. Then when they saw Amazon, Luna, and Google, they were like, "Oh crap, we got to get in this market because we don't get." So Microsoft's biggest competitor, realistically, at this point, to me, is not Sony. Sony's biggest competitor
is themselves, dude. Yeah. Microsoft's biggest competitor is themselves. They got to figure out. They got to get back on the bull. Good.
But Sony's biggest competition right now, because of what PlayStation does and how much money it generates for Sony, then they look at Nintendo, they're like, yo, you guys have capitalized in our home country where we used to be kind of like neck and neck. Nintendo hurt Sony in the beginning with the original PlayStation. Sony came out and
Yeah.
said, we'll do our own thing. Sony trounced them. Sony trounced the PS2. PS3 came out, they had a fumble. PS4 comes out, they're trouncing people. PS5 comes out, and as of right now, it's destroying people. But in their home territory, they haven't seen that resurgence of the console buyer. They've seen the person who's on the go. You got to think of how that country moves. They're on the go. They're having less children. They're having less communication with just people. The people aren't reproducing. They more or less are to themselves. They more or less are on the go playing the games. Nintendo Switch dominates there. Sony's like, we don't want to do another handheld. How can we do this? Hey, we can jump in there and everybody has a phone and they can just put a little PlayStation 4 kind of dongle on their phone and push forward, and we can get them on the go if we can't get them to buy a PS5 in their house, right? And I think that works for that country. I think that it be successful in that country because it's Sony. It's not successful for Microsoft. Everybody's like, oh, Microsoft streaming. It's not successful for Microsoft because that is not their home territory. I don't even think it's going to be successful here in the home territory because we use our phones and we are on the go different. You got to think a lot of European countries and Asian countries, they take trains everywhere. We take cars everywhere. We are a car nation. So you got to think about the way we move. You're on a train, you're going to work, you have time to pull out your phone and pop a little game, blah, 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 whatever. So my whole thing is, I think if this comes to fruition, they don't really talk about it until E3 time next year. I think they introduce it holiday next year. And I do think the 3-tier will be $29, $60, $99. I think they just go with a model, and this is just what I would think they would do. Say, oh, here's our silver. Just like people don't remember this, back in the original Xbox Live days in 360, there was a silver and there was a gold. And then they just completely got rid of the name silver and they just went with gold.
Mm-hmm.
But people don't remember that. The original Xbox had a silver and a gold.
Oh, yeah, that's silver and the gold. Yeah, yeah.
I think Sony does a play on words. They can
got
say
to do the tiers, dude.
PlayStation Plus Silver, PlayStation Plus Gold, and PlayStation Plus Platinum. Dude, because if you look at what's going on in the industry, there's a lot of things going on between both networks, and people on the Xbox side are like, hey, we would like a Platinum, like something similar to PlayStation. And one thing I found playing more on my Xbox Series X now is like, damn, like I'll get a game, and I know that anybody who knows anything about Xbox knows that there's only 1,000 gamer score per game. Anything over that is DLC. Anything over that is DLC. Now with the Xbox One generation, they started adding these achievements in there, these diamond ones and this diamond, and I'm like, wait a minute. It says 1,600. Well, out of that 1,600, which ones are the actual 1,000? You see what I'm saying? So they don't separate. Yeah. Like PlayStation, you can go in there, you can see your 100% for your trophy list, right?
Well, that was a good point that you brought up about the trophies. Is like, because those older games didn't have trophies or
exactly.
In them. So, but you saw also what they did with the PS2 games, where they were remaking them in 1080p. And they put them in PlayStation Now. Actually, there's only like 15 of them or 12 of them, but they put them in PlayStation Now. But they've added like kind of the PS4, trophy, and updated them to 1080p on the on the PlayStation PlayStation Now, and also in the store you could buy them.
And has anybody ever noticed that when you're on your PS5? I don't mean to cut you off. When you're on your PS5, when you're in your collection, when you go to platform for your collection, it says PS5, PS4, PS3.
That was another indication.
And I think they're going to add PS2 and PS1.
Of course they
because even though I own some PS4 games that are technically PS2 games, all they are is they just freaking they're PS2 games that released on the PS4. Dude. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that at the end of the day, I think that you're going to get some of those PS2 games with trophies, because I think they want to test the market and say, hey, we can release this PS2 game on the PS4 with trophy support. Let's see who buys it.
But Frog, they
released a lot of them I purchased, and I was like, oh man, I remember, and it was cleaned up. I mean,
I beat War of Monsters, War of Monsters. Like I beat that game. Yeah, we played it exactly. Like that was a PS2 game. It was
I own Dark
$7.
Cloud 2, and it's a PS2 game, and it has trophy support. Don't be surprised if they're putting a PS2 moniker on these things with the trophy support.
Also,
and little by little, they give you the games, the ones that aren't hard to license that Sony can give you. They're gonna put these PlayStation 2 games out there.
Yeah.
And here's the thing:
wow,
if you can do it, if you can download them natively, that's what makes or breaks this service. If the PS1 and PS2 games, the PS1 and PS2 games need to be able to be downloaded natively on your PS4 and PS5 console. And here's an even bigger thing, and people aren't thinking about this. Everybody's focused on PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. Sony has not done a very, like, their last version of the PS4, the smallest version. They haven't done it very small of a Pro. And so don't be surprised. And I don't think they're going to do it, but don't be surprised if they come out with one last model of a PS4 and they try to take that Joker down to $199.
Because it does say that it's coming to. So this is something interesting too. That no mention the Vita, but they want
to outsell the PS4.
Frog, you said that they're going to do the Sony strap-ons, right, and stuff like that. But think about it. They're adding PSP games, exactly, like mobile games for the mobile. Like this is what I mean. They have built this library up. Like you don't want to play God of War, the new Ragnarok on your phone, but guess what? There's a whole library of PSP games, mobile.
Go play God of War 1, God of War 2, and that would
fit on a mobile device because it was made for a smaller mobile screen. So putting PSP games in this service complements the whole, like, hey, I'm going to play this game on my phone, but guess what? It was made for a small screen, so this game will work. Maybe it doesn't look good. And this is what I mean. They spent years building this. All you had to do was Sony had to flip the switch. And if this thing really turns out to be true and this is what I mean. Xbox guys have been begging, Sony got to do what we do. Sony got to do what Phil says.
And see,
you got it? You better enjoy it because this is the death of that. You had your time alone.
Game Pass and model and what PlayStation's doing. PlayStation sat back and watched, and everybody's going to say,
snipers.
Everybody's going to, let's say this comes to fruition, it happens. Everybody's going to say the only reason Sony's doing it is because of Game Pass. And PlayStation Now has been there for the longest of times with downloadable.
No, well, everybody can get their little victories or whatever the hell they want, but the truth of the matter is, this service is going to be built to kill Game Pass, and Sony has built a library of games.
Sony has the library to do it.
They have the library to do it. Nintendo too. That's what I mean. Like Microsoft and what? Oh my God, grinders! Please hit that like button and go back to my video where I said Microsoft Xbox is on borrowed time.
Yeah,
I said this. I did a whole video about it.
Do a Game Pass type service.
I said it
with the. Because guess what?
Sony said they're not waiting.
Yes. Sony doesn't have to put their newest PS5 games in there. When you're putting PS1 and PS2 and some of the classics in there, the people haven't played in years, you don't have to put PS5 games. Those games can come 6 months to a year later, and people will shit their pants and like, yo, it's been a year and God of War is so X amount of, but it's in their service now. Holy shit.
I told you.
The best of both worlds.
I said it. That's why when people are like, well, why are you complaining about the delayed games? Because Microsoft is on borrowed time. Remember when they got the E3 stage all to themselves? These are the times where you need to capitalize on that. Not talk about bullshit, which they basically did every E3 where they're only by themselves. They talked about updates to Sea of Thieves. I'm like, this is the time for you to lay down the law because Sony's quiet. Nintendo's doing their thing. This is when you need to establish yourself because they're not going to wait for you. And now you still have Fable. All these games coming out years from now. You're going to hold your breath for Starfield, and Sony's going to drop this as the Game Pass sniper to with all their legacy of games, all the games they built up over the last 5 years while you were still trying to figure out what a AAA game was. And now they're going to leverage this in their service. And you're done. Borrow time, dude. Time's up.
A lot of people don't understand a lot of moves, right? Like, for instance, I own the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, and people shit on that trilogy, right? And they patched it, and it's fixed. But I also own Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas for the PS2. Because they actually put the PS2 versions on PS4 with trophy. So I own both versions. But here's the thing a lot of people didn't think about. A lot of people were shitting on, hey, Game Pass got what was it, San Andreas in it, and then PlayStation Now got Grand Theft Auto 3. They're like, why would they give them Grand Theft Auto 3 instead of, a Vice City? Grand Theft Auto 3 is what made PlayStation. People forget that. San Andreas, was a big deal, but Grand Theft Auto 3 is what made PlayStation.
Yeah.
If you could not, let me.
That's what we bought PlayStation 2 for. It was Grand Theft Auto.
You could not buy a PlayStation 2 and Grand Theft Auto 3 wasn't attached to it. It was attached to it. Anybody bought a PS2 bought Grand Theft Auto 3. That's why they put Grand Theft Auto 3 in there, because it was kind of like that thing. If you understand what gaming was back in that era, this is what PlayStation. There's a lot of games that PlayStation 2 made and games that made PlayStation 2 what it is. So PlayStation 2 helped games out, and games helped PlayStation 2 out. Grand Theft Auto 3 helped PlayStation out.
The games, Rob. It wasn't the friends. It wasn't the feature set. It was the games. And this is the point that I always said, that they were on borrowed time, because Microsoft needed to have they didn't have the time to say, well, this game's coming out in 3 years from now. 2023 is going to be huge. 2024 will be huge. And I'm sitting there going, do you realize Sony's not going to sit here and do nothing? They just announced Wolverine, Spider-Man 2, just with the game announcements alone. Then they got Discord coming early next year, and now they're going to have this come out in August. They are punching you in the face and kicking you in the nuts at the same time. You had your chance. Microsoft, you had your chance to shine, and instead you delayed Halo, bootleg Joel, and now you still got to wait for features in Halo. Nobody's waiting, dude. Nobody's waiting for you. Good luck.
This is something that's really good for the industry, right? In a sense of, PlayStation didn't need to do a Game Pass type model. Microsoft should not have wanted. They should not have wanted.
People should have stopped answering. But Xbox fans are like, you got to do it. Why?
The fact that PlayStation is rumored to be doing this, Microsoft should be shitting their pants, because
they know Microsoft's shitting pants, but the fans are claiming this as a W.
They have to know this. Think about this. They have to know this.
Oh, and PSVR 2, James Wade, what's up? Yo, PSVR 2? Holy crap, Frog. They got every ounce. They got every hole covered.
You just ended your backward compatibility legacy with the X. Think about this. Microsoft just announced they
borrow time, grinders. Legacy, right? I told you.
Sony's now beginning theirs. When Hip Hop Gamer said,
Yep. Hey, I just tweeted him because they're not giving him credit. That dude came out there last year and he said it first, and nobody's giving him credit for it.
He said this system has the ability.
He said it.
It has been. Yeah, he said
I watched his show. He said it. And I was like, yes. He's like, I heard from insiders that they could do backwards compatibility. Hip Hop Gamer said it. Nobody gave him credit. They thought he was talking crazy. And now Jason Schreier goes in there with his scoop. And now all of a sudden, Jason's getting all the credibility.
Here's where this really kind of fucks Microsoft in the ass, right? As far as Xbox. If Sony comes out and announce this and they get the pricing right, they can let's just say they put trophies in their PS1, PS2 game, which I'm pretty sure they probably will, because they did it. They've done it already.
We'll see.
What if, I don't know, by some flip of the switch, we don't know. They said you can stream all these games or you can download them all natively.
That's what we're going to see, because I don't really want to stream PS1 games, though.
Including PS3 games. Oh, shit.
Oh, download the PS3 games, because you said that, too.
That's when it gets serious, when you're like, yo, I can natively download my PS3 games. I know I can stream them. People will sign up for that service. This game, you got to understand, PlayStation Now, which I had it, and I was like, there's a shitload of games there. There were so many games in there. PlayStation Now as a service, for what they were charging, was pretty cheap compared to, Game Pass. And the library, it just toppled Game Pass. It really did. The only thing that PlayStation Now didn't do as well as Game Pass is the native PS3 games. If they had the native PS3 games, it will all in all, when you look at both services, when you say, well, which has a service that's a little bit better, PlayStation Now will be the obvious better service if you can natively download PS3 games.
Like, I think it's going to go up now. I think the cost is going to go up here.
I would say 99, 60, 59, 99, 59, and 29. I think 29 gets people in the door.
I don't think they're going that high. I think they're going 15. Yo, let me get Z's Pet Pig Wilbur with the $2. He goes, you haven't bought Chorus on PS5, Jez. I have to buy the chorus. I haven't. I
I'm,
gotta
I'm
check out
telling
that
you,
game.
man. Like,
Frog, did you
there's
play
a
the
lot of
chorus?
games.
Did you see what the chorus is on?
The chorus. Why does that sound
Chorus.
familiar? Let me check it. It's the PS5 game.
You said the PS5 game. Check it out. Chorus. I didn't play it. No, Z's. I'll definitely do that.
Everybody's talking about Dauntless PS5 version and then Solar Ash.
Yeah, Solar Ash just came out. But you know, I'm saying like they're God tier games. That's right, Sam.
And here's the other thing, Jazz. And this is what Microsoft kind of should have.
Careful driving, Gadget. Go Gadget.
What if some of the like what if and I don't think it's going to be the same. I don't think Microsoft and Sony are going to get the same games like their service. I think they're going to be different.
I think it's going to put pressure on Microsoft that they're not going to be the only show in town.
You don't want Sony to get the same games because then it kind of screws you. Because people are like, wait, if you got Back for Ass and Game Pass and Back for Ass and your PlayStation Plus Platinum, shit. I mean, where would I rather play it at? I'll just play it on the PlayStation because they got the bigger catalog.
But
Sony has a bigger catalog.
But Frog, the thing is that if Sony starts to become a battle of the services, and Sony starts getting some of those games that Microsoft was trying to leverage throughout the year, now that's what I said. Somebody just put it in the chat. They said that it basically it's gonna live or die. I've said it. It's gonna live or die by Microsoft's first party. It puts more pressure on Microsoft, going like, well, guess what? The only difference you have now, we got your service. We're getting those third party and indie games now.
Yep.
All you got now is your first party games that are in Game Pass.
And Sony doesn't have to put their first party in there because their first party
they don't need to.
And then they can. And then if they wait a year,
they put them in there later,
and they throw them in there. People shit themselves a year later.
Frog, look at the top game downloaded in PS Now. It's Last of Us 2. How many people bought Last of Us 2 last year? It's the top game that's downloaded in PS Now.
Thank you.
And look at God of War 2018, how they're leveraging that on PC and all that other stuff. Frog, the thing is that what was Xbox 2018? Is there any games from Xbox in 2018 that people need to play right now? No. There was Spider-Man, God of War. That's the thing. Sony spent years building up these games, and now they're going to leverage them in a service. And you'll be able to get those. Plus, they have a legacy of games that people want to play. And now, put that in service. But know what the most important part and the biggest takeaway to this whole thing, if it is true, grinders, hit that like button. The biggest thing is that so far, if this turns out to be true, and they stay against that, putting their games, no, the first party games from them, the ones that are not in the service, are not compromised. Horizon, God of War. We're not going to sit here going, is it God of War episode?
Fear,
That's the biggest.
I don't want those big games put in there because I think that does hurt this.
Exactly.
I think that will compromise.
This does not. This is having your cake and eat it too. This is what Microsoft should have done. They should have said, hey, we're going to put some games in Game Pass, but then there'll be some games that will not be in Game Pass. Instead, Microsoft committed fully without even knowing what games they were making. And that was the problem Microsoft did. They jumped the gun. That was my biggest problem with that.
To put some of their bigger games in their day and date, that totally kills Game Pass. There's no reason to have Game Pass.
Oh, well, then it's done. But then I'm worried about Sony compromising these games for that service.
That's my problem. What I'm worried about. That's my biggest fear.
Doing a Halo to it.
Yes, I don't need you to.
Yeah, I don't need Spider-Man 2 to be
Spider-Man in there. Now I got to buy all the costumes.
Yeah, or episodic. Like, okay, well, just play in this part of the city for this month, and now I'm like, no, please.
I don't need that. That could really hurt.
Don't compromise your games for the service.
Yes,
that's my biggest problem with Game Pass
overall. So let's just hope that whatever they're planning, let's hope it benefits the gamer. Because a lot of people say Game Pass benefits the gamer. I think there's some value to Game Pass.
Yeah,
but I think if you're in that ecosystem, there's some value. But realistically, if you are a Game Pass sub, how many games that are in Game Pass are you really buying that are big? Or are you just waiting for the Resident Evils and the Final Fantasy 15s and the Battlefield 2042s to come to Game Pass? Which those games may never come to Game Pass. They're too big. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, because I always think like, and I look at some of the people on my friends list that say they have Game Pass, and guess what? A lot of games they played and they've had to purchase. They're not in Game Pass.
Of course.
So my whole thing is like when I see him playing Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm like, okay, that's not in the Game Pass. Battlefield 2042, that's not in Game Pass. Call of Duty, non-Game Pass. NBA 2K22, non-Game. So they're buying a lot of games still, but you're screaming and hollering from the roofs this service is the best thing. But what are you playing in that service?
I know. Well,
Because
that's
I wouldn't subscribe to a service that doesn't have games that I want.
yeah,
Because
especially you're paying $15 a month for it like that. Like I said, if you're paying $4 or $5 a month, yeah, right. You don't have the games for me. That's fine. That's $44 a year. Like, come on, I'll take that. But if I'm paying $180, you
don't have the first party games in there to keep my appetite full. Like I beat 50 something.
Agreed.
Games this
Yo,
year.
DDP in the chat. Wait, I'm gonna say he says services are great for small games, service games, multiplayer games, and older catalog games. You've been saying that from day one. That's exactly DDP. That's exactly how I feel. It has. That's what I mean. They have their value. It's when Microsoft said all our first party is going in there. Because if you remember, when Game Pass first launched, it was really like a 360 emulator, man. It had all the 360 games in it. Nobody cared about it until 2017 when they said, before Sea of Thieves came out, they go, starting with Sea of Thieves, every first-party game from Microsoft will be in Game Pass. And I remember we were on Planet Xbox. And we were like, oh, no. Like, what does that mean for Halo? What does that mean? I'm like, oh, damn. Like, what? I'm like, we're never going to get a full game, never. And that was the day that grinds my. That's the game on my channel started. That's my channel started like around that time because I was like, I don't like.
You were
this.
like, oh man, it's like these games are to come in there and they're going to be half baked.
And
then we got a lot of shit for saying that.
Yeah, we got a lot of shit
for saying that. And so far from that point to this time, we've gotten a lot of half baked games.
Yeah.
Some of the games that have been in there, the smaller games, I'm like, yo, this is cool, but we've gotten a lot of half baked games.
Yeah. And it all came true. And even look at the Halo, a year delay. And even then, it still is not complete, feature complete, still waiting for stuff. We've heard you, we'll fix it. We've been telling you since the beta 3 months ago that the Battle Pass is broken. Challenges don't work. And meanwhile, they're acting like, well, we're trying to fix. You should have fixed it before. You've been hearing this since August when you put that first beta out because the Battle Pass was doing the same thing. And if you complained about it, though, you immediately got shot down on the internet saying like, oh, it's in beta. Stop it. It's a tech test. Stop it. And meanwhile, the tech test is exactly what the hell you got. So don't give me that bullshit. Same thing with Sea of Thieves. I remember playing Sea of Thieves beta. I'm like, this is all I'm doing in Sea of Thieves. Like, there's only, it's only in beta. Be quiet. Sea of Thieves launched the same 3 goddamn mission types. You don't give me that bullshit.
With freaking C-Dicks.
Shit. So, Kraken's still not there. Maybe he didn't even come back with the Series X. They didn't even put the Kraken in.
I'll show you what a Kraken
you saw. You got drunk. And the Kraken showed up in the compression with the PlayStation.
Yeah, there you go.
Nelson Gaming. What happened? I just woke up. Oh, damn. Nelson, you gotta rewind. But I'm gonna give you the brief of it, dude. Is that PlayStation is gonna, from Scoops Schreier, PlayStation is going to, because we got a whole bunch more viewers just showed up. Hit that like button, grinders. Hit the sub button if you're new. Join the Grindhouse. You get more shows coming. So basically, Jason Schreier got the scoop that PlayStation is going to make a competitor to Game Pass by combining PS Now and PS Plus together in the spring. And they're also planning on adding PS1, PS2, and PSP games to that service and having multiple tiers where your first tier, which I think is incredible because Microsoft, that's the one thing they didn't do with Game Pass. They never treated Xbox Live like its own tier. They treated it like an outcast, like an appendix. They basically go, oh, yeah, we got Xbox Live. After we spent 20 years building this service, now Xbox Live is the redheaded stepchild that we don't want to talk about, the appendix. It's about Game Pass now. But Xbox Live is still needed, though. So it's really strange how they treated Xbox Live. But if Sony takes this and they go basically, hey, you just want PS Plus and not deal with subscription gaming, boom, tier 1 for you. You want PS Now some games, and you want some PS Plus games. Here, tier 2 for you. You want it all. You want the streaming. You want PS1, 2, the 3 games that are in there. PSP. Oh, and it says also, he said, exclusive demos, early access things, and well, we got a tier 3 for you. And that's, you take PS Plus, tier 1, 2, and 3, and it satisfies every type of gamer. The one that says, I don't want to pay $15 and have to. Whereas, Frog, you said this yourself. You basically need to buy Game Pass to enjoy your Xbox. Like, because you are now, and I had the same feeling. If you just want to play online, you're paying $60 a year just to play online and getting Games with Gold, which is garbage. Right? If you just want Game Pass and the games in Game Pass that have online don't work because you need Xbox Live. Hence, $15 a month is basically the deal that you need to do. Because if you want Game Pass, hey, I just want to play Game Pass games. I don't want to deal with Xbox Live. Well, some of those games in Game Pass are not going to work, like Sea of Thieves, Gears Multiplayer. They're not going to work because you need Xbox Live. Well, here's your $5. They sucker you into it. And then in February, everybody seems to scratch their head. Grinders, you think that Microsoft forgot about increasing the price to Xbox Live? You think they forgot? Oh, no. They're going to give it to you. They'll give it to you another way around. Because I'm telling you, as those numbers don't climb up as fast as they want, they're going to be doing more Philnest to get you on those numbers. And especially if Sony releases a competitor, if Sony, because now Sony's like, it reminds me of Sony's like this big ass beast, right? Just sitting there, like just delivering games, doing their shit, and sitting there. And Microsoft is this little pecker that's just pecking on the beast. I don't shut up on Twitter. Check out my shoes. Check out my donut. Check out my refrigerator. And Sony's this big ass beast, just like, leave me alone. And Microsoft's like, look at us. We got Halo. Tapping on this thing. And now Sony just turned around and was like, now you got my attention. And now Sony's like, that thing that you keep pecking me about, I'm coming at you. I'm going there. Your Game Pass that you keep shoving up my ass, knocking on Frog's door, making the grindhounds go get him. Now you got my attention, and now I'm opening up Pandora's box.
Yeah, exactly.
Here comes the Kraken. You want the body? You're getting the body and the C dicks are coming right up your ass. Because here it comes. PS1, PS2, PSP. We got it all, and it's all coming right at you. And Microsoft's going to be like, oh, shit. Everybody's going to be like, Microsoft, respond. And they're going to be like, oh, Fable's 2 years out. The Perfect Dark made by the Stunt Doubles, Crystal Dynamics. I don't know. Joanna Dark got blonde hair now. They made her a stunt double. Holy shit. Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit. Microsoft be stuck in the mud.
I think this was said before, like, Sony didn't really need to do a Game Pass type model. And
Microsoft pestered them enough that Sony's like, bitch slap.
He said if they did do a Game Pass type model, it would hurt Game Pass because they have a huge library and catalog, and anything they put in there, if they can make it which I don't think that you're going to get the God of War games. It's just they're too big. It'll be just like Nintendo doing some kind of Game Pass type model. Like Nintendo could do that, but because they have a catalog, and it's like, but why would you want them to do that when that would hurt Game Pass in a sense? Like, you don't want Nintendo to come out with a Game Pass type model because then it helps the consumer, but you just killed one of the your competition off.
Yeah,
Microsoft sitting there twiddling their thumbs like, yo, we can't compete with Zelda and Mario and Smash Brothers that do it this year. These years of history.
Borrowed time.
Jack and Dexter and Ratchet and Clank. Everybody talks shit about how many Ratchet and Clank games there are, but if Sony would have go ahead and say, well, we gave you all these PS2 games back inside of our PlayStation Plus Platinum, and they had trophy support, 1080p at 60 frames if you're on your freaking PS4, and 4K 60 if you're on your PS5, or 4K 120 even if you're on your PS. How do you compete with that? You can't. You can't compete.
And Frog, I always use the example of Disney Plus versus Netflix. Netflix spent years, a decade, trying to build up their streaming service, and they're still not doing it. Disney was just sitting there building IP, building quality movies, building Marvel Studios, building themselves up, and then guess what? Disney's like, you know what? We're going to do Netflix. Flip the switch, Bill. Mickey's like, woohoo! It flips the switch, and guess what? The Disney Plus blows Netflix out of friggin' water. You want to know why?
That's not to say that Netflix is horrible.
No.
It's just that they had their onesies and twosies, but they're definitely not.
Netflix had exactly. Netflix was trying to build up like Xbox Studios, like, oh, it's gonna take time. We got to build Netflix original content, and then meanwhile Disney was sitting there just making. Yeah, here's Frozen, here's Marvel, here's Star Wars, and we'll make this and this and that and this. You know what, Mickey? Oh, here we go. We're here, and then boom. Flips the switch, and guess what? Now they have millions of subscribers. They just leapfrogged. You know why? Because they spent years building the content. And this is what I said that Sony and Nintendo have been doing. For the last 5 years, while Xbox had no games, quote unquote, Sony and Nintendo have been building their libraries, building legacies, building IP, building quality games. Content is king, DDP. Amen. This is what I mean. And now they go, you know what? All those games that were huge bangers when we were giving out bangers and double bangers in the PS4, well, guess what? Now they're in a service. Flip the switch. Pew. Oh, you know that PS2 and PS1? Yeah, you know what? Those games. Flip the switch. Pew. And now you get all that. And then guess what? It doesn't compromise Horizon. It doesn't compromise God of War. It doesn't compromise Forspoken. It doesn't make your head you scratch and go, oh shit, Last of Us 3, oh my God, episodic, holy shit. But you want to know what? Then the realest part is that there will be some first-party Sony games that go in there. I think The Last of Us multiplayer will be a pristine game that goes right in their friggin' service going, dude, sign up for PS Plus and sign up for play some factions. There will be games from Sony first party in there. And as soon as they get compromised because Sony starts doing that stuff, you're going to hear from me because that's what I don't want. That was the biggest problem I had with Game Pass, not the service itself. I love Netflix of games. It's great. But don't tell me all these games that I don't even know that you're making, everything is going to be in there. Like, you cannot put a round peg in a square hole. Certain games belong, and I said Sony does this. Sony, like, will hey, this game looks good for a service. Put that in a service. This game is good. You know what? Horizon 2 is coming out. Put Horizon 1 on PC. That seems right. They're smart moves. They're intelligent moves. Not just because there's Sony fans think that Sony does nothing wrong. Sony does a lot wrong. But the thing is that they don't compromise their games. They're making their games, and they're putting the games that are fit in those different services. They're putting them in there. They're putting the games, hey, you know, Horizon 2, hey, we got that Uncharted movie, put Uncharted on PC. We get some people interested. God of War 2's coming out, put a God of War on PC. Hey, you know what? That game was that friggin' racing game that nobody cares about, Destruction All-Stars. Hey, you know what? Launch that in PS Plus. That looks like a service game. Nobody's going to spend $50, $60 on that. Sony is actually taking the game and putting it in the service that matters. Microsoft is doing the chumming the water, as I always say. They're basically taking every game and going, everybody wants to play this on PC and on phones, and they want to play this on their Xbox, and they want to play this in a service, and every game that we make is going to be put in Game Pass. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
You can make different tiers. You don't have to turn Halo into this Frankenstein of a game, splitting up the multiplayer that has seasons, the single player that has seasons, and day one guns. You don't have to add curb stomps for $5 in Gears 5 because you gave it away in a $15 subscription. You don't have to compromise these games. Those games shouldn't be compromised. You want to do it with small games like Bleeding Ass, then do it, fine. But don't say everything. Don't mean everything. And that's the problem I had with Game Pass, was that it's everything, which means that everything's going to be compromised to fit this model. So the games are going to be made for the service rather than games just be trying to be for the players.
Whatever your name is, get ready for the big surprise.
Sony does the same. Again, Scoops McGee went in there and he got it. So, we'll see where it goes, if this is true. But man, what leverage do they have? And you know what? I see people trying to turn this into a W from the Xbox camp. I'm going to tell you guys right now, they're all shaking in their goddamn boots, all right? Because they know that Sony has the content and the wherewithal to basically wipe the floors with Game Pass. And this puts all pressure on Microsoft first party. Totally.
I was about to say that, right?
Oh, well, True Rudy with the $2. He says Sony won't put their games day and date in that service. No, they won't. But I do think that there might be some multiplayer games or something like that.
You're my number one customer.
Maybe even some indie games that they will put day and date. But I don't think God of War is going in there day and date. Horizon, They're going to keep it separate from that. And they said it too. Jason Schreier, he goes, they're trying to compete against Game Pass, but they're not putting their first party games in there because their games sell. But it's the waterfall method. And thank you, True Witty, for the $2. It's the waterfall method. They're going to put their games at the top thing, box office. See how, what's so funny? Man, I keep going on. I have all these friggin' thoughts. It's crazy. But know what's so funny is because last year, When all these movies were coming into the service, everybody's like, it's the future. We told you, Sony. It's the future. Everything's going to a service. No more movie theaters. No more stuff. We told you. And guess what happened? As soon as the vaccine, as soon as the stuff turned around, guess what? Only in theaters. Only in theaters. Spider-Man, only in theaters. What happened to the day one on my Netflix? What happened? Only in theaters. The big movies are only in theaters. You want to get the lovey-dovey movies? Maybe we'll put that on Amazon Prime. So what happened? As soon as the theaters opened up, they went right back to the theaters. Right back. You know why? Because that's where the real money for the movie is made. That's why. And that's why big first-party games don't belong in a $15 service. They went right back to the movie theaters. Let's get those $25 tickets a la carte. Child 1, child 2, parents, $25, $25. Why are they going to say, hey, pay us $30 and have 30 people at your house watching the premiere? No. They're not doing that. They went right back to the movie theaters. I see people, I can't get my Spider-Man tickets in the movie theater. I got to be sitting on somebody's lap, a standing only. Exactly. They went right back, bitches, right back. The waterfall. It's the friggin' waterfall. Sony could sell their games at $70. People will buy them. Hey, you don't like $70? Here's on sale for $50. Hey, you don't like $50? Here's $30. You don't like Black Friday? Here's $25. You know what? You don't like it? Wait. Here it comes in my new PlayStation Pass. Oh, shit. There you go. Oh, you don't like it? There you go. You get everybody at every tier. But guess what? The game doesn't get compromised because you're not dropping right to the Walmart bottom barrel. You're not taking your premier game of Halo and going, we need to get it in the bottom barrel. We got to put it at the bottom of Walmart battle. Exactly, Aaron. This is not Game Pass. This is not. But everybody wants the big headline. This is Game Pass. It's not. Because day and date games are not happening. Well, they're first party games. That's what it's opposing to the rumor. But the thing is that I don't want the games to be compromised for the service. And that was my fear when Microsoft announced this in 2017, and it's coming true. And I don't want Sony to do the same thing. I don't want the first-party games, the big games that I love to play, turn into service seasonal bullshit. Now, you want to make a game that fits the PlayStation Plus Game Pass? Do it. You want to make a spin-off of Spider-Man that puts in there? Fine. But don't take God of War and turn it into episodic. Don't take Halo and turn it into some free-to-play multiplayer with 7 maps and 2 game modes. You can't even choose your game mode. And then give me some open-world Halo walking around with bootleg Joel. Where's my big set-piece moments? What's going on? What's happening? Nah. Don't neuter your first-party games. And Microsoft didn't care. Like, I think somebody said, like, nobody cared about the game, so Microsoft just put them all there. The difference is Sony cares about their first-party games, and they'll be the first ones to be like, yo, we're not putting our first-party in there. But I do think, I'm not going to be naive about it, I do think that there will be first-party games that Sony will put in there. So be prepared. Maybe factions, maybe multiplayer game, maybe some indie games that they're making, maybe a side project that they're doing. There might be games that they'll put in there, just like they do with PlayStation Plus. They put Oddworld in there, day and date. They could do that. But I'm thinking your blockbuster games, they're making this, and Jason Schreier was very clear about it. He said it. He goes, they're not putting the first party games in there. Because I'm telling you, this is a controlled leak. This is a scoop. This is not I told you in Xbox Party Chat. This was meant to be coming out here from Jason Schreier. Remember when Frog was saying, I'll say Sony's too quiet? Frog was saying they're sniping, they're ready. This is a snipe. This is a move. This is a controlled leak. They're
calculated, man.
Yeah.
They do this all the time. They're very calculated. They sit there and they watch and they watch and they learn and they say, you know what? We've seen them do this. We've seen them do that. Hey, we can do better than that. They watch with the 360 era and they watched all the mistakes they made. And Sony, I don't know if a lot of people remember this. Sony was really disappointed by the 360 era and a lot of things they did. And they said, and they said when the PS4 era came out, they said, we'll never do that again. We will never do what we did in that era. That's why they let Mark Cerny design the PS4, the PS5, because they said, you know what? And they took a chance. Yes. You know, they came Kutaragi, the king, the legend. When Cerny came on there, he said, look, we got to do it like this because this will appeal to a broader audience. When that PS4 came out, they were like, "Oh, this is the bread and butter. We got it." They had their 360 model. The PS4 was basically a 360 generation for them, and the PS5 is continuing into that 360 generation again. Anything that Microsoft has done, Sony has sat back and they watched, and they've made their missteps. The PS3 was their system to make the missteps. PS4, they took everything they learned from the 360 generation and did better.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing with the PS5. You got to look at their share play. You got to look at their streaming capabilities. Everything they've done is done. They always done it better. Nobody that has both systems, an Xbox and a PlayStation, can tell me that Xbox has the better streaming platform than PlayStation. It doesn't.
I thought Sony services were pretty damn good, because I remember when I moved over from Xbox and I started playing the PlayStation, I was really impressed about how their services were integrated really well.
In the PS3 era, it was kind of right? The PS4 era, it was basically like the the 360 to me had a better service the way they did. PS4 era, they were neck and neck.
Yeah.
They were neck and neck.
And know what's interesting too, Frog, is that
you don't want your competition to ever be neck and neck with you. You always want to have the one up. When PlayStation came out with the PS4 and that they were neck and neck, and they said, "Well, shit, we can just go on ahead and do this, and that." And then it came out and said, "Hey, we're adding streaming capabilities. We're adding this. We're adding that."
Yeah.
Microsoft should have had an answer back to that. No, they say, we're adding this cocksucker to Mixer, and Mixer's closed down, and they just did all these stupid things, and I'm like, did you not see the mistakes that Sony made with the PS3 and you should have learned that, but they didn't.
And it's funny, somebody said Knuckles, Microsoft blew their load in one go. Yeah, and it seemed out of almost like a desperation where they just said all of our games are going to Game Pass without even kind of really thinking it out, because they made that announcement and then they bought studios. It wasn't like they were building up this whole library of games that they were going to include in the service. It seems kind of like putting the cart before the horse. Like they said, all of our games are going into Game Pass, and then they go on a studio purchasing spree, and then buy $7 billion after they bought a bunch of studios, and bought more studios, and then bought a whole friggin' publisher. It seems like that they made the announcement prematurely. Like you would think that it would naturally be that you build this library of games, and then now you offer them in a service. That was the whole problem that I had with Microsoft's announcement. I was like, wait a second, you're committing games that we don't even know that you're making yet. Like, why are you doing this? Like, what are these games are? That's why when people say, oh, everybody, like, what is Fable? What is Starfield? What is Contraband? What are these games? Like, they're so early in their development. Microsoft made this announcement in 2017. You would think, and if you look at the Game Pass content, what do you had? Gears in it? And then what do they put in there? Last year they had nothing during the holiday. They tried to put some finesse, some bullshit, some Gears Tactics coming to console. But you got to look at, they're trying to satisfy 3 platforms, console, cloud, and Xbox. They don't have enough content coming out to supply those 3 platforms. And then you wait a whole year, and then you say, oh, well, problem solved. Xbox has games now. What comes out after December 8th? Starfield is the only one that they said from November. Stalker 2? Stalker 2 is not Xbox first party. That you want to count that? What about Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken? Like, we can't go down that path. Talk about first party games. What do they have? They committed their first party games, not third party deals for 3-month exclusives. Their first party games are in there indefinitely. Those third party games leave. So you're looking at their first party games. What's the next one? You got maybe Forza next year, and now Starfield. A Crossfire X? I don't know. A Crossfire X? I don't even think about. Like, I don't even know. And they can't backpedal. You're right. They can't go backwards. They committed this. Redfall. I mean, yeah, Redfall. There we go. Redfall. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it. Maybe we'll see it at the Game Awards. But this is the thing, and this is not Game Pass, but this will put pressure on Game Pass. And like I said, Sony has the library. And it's not the new stuff. It's not Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. It's not God of War Ragnarok and Horizon. That is just extra. That's the great stuff. Just the library that Sony has built over the years with PS4 and the library that they have. They flip the switch now and say, we got a service that incorporates all those generations of games. Boom, on a service. dude, that is a friggin' blow to Microsoft. That's like shit. Because Microsoft has been leveraging that old shit for the last 5 years. Now it's old shit. It's like, hey, you played Gears 4 enhanced on the One X. Well, wait till you hear this. Now you can play Gears 4 enhanced on the Series X. Microsoft's been milking that old shit for the last 5-6 years while Sony's been putting out Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, God of War, Spider-Man, Horizon. Like, that's what I'm talking about. They're the Disney Plus in this situation. They have built a library and now flipping the switch. And Frog said it. They could rely on all their games from the past, and that service still matches up against Xbox. And what it does, it puts all the pressure on Microsoft first-party new games. Because Sony's like, we got you. We got this. We got that. We got this. The only difference now is your first-party games versus our first-party games. Because we're matching you 1-for-1. We got the old games in there. We have better old games. We got legacy old games that people never even played before. You've been milking those old games for 6 years. Now, the deck is even now. People want to... And what's crazy on this whole thing, too, is that you're looking... All they're doing is merging two services that have existed on the platform for the last 6 years, 7 years, that decade. This is not a third service. They're merging their two services together, which have been together right now, really doing well and still cheaper than Game Pass. And they're just going to put a concerted effort in bringing games there with older games there as well. I think I go along with the grinders in the chat, man. I totally agree. I think everybody's looking at this as a direct killer to Game Pass. I think this is more of addressing the Nintendo service. That's what I think. Seeing what Nintendo's doing, leveraging old games and their services in addition to, it just grabs more subscribers because people could play online for free now. They don't really, that's why I think even the games for PlayStation Plus have been really good because that's sort of a way to keep you there because this whole paying for online, I think, is going to go away. I think they're going to try to Microsoft's just going to try to phase out Xbox Live and just make it Game Pass. And Sony's going to kind of say, hey, you don't need to play this online, but you get all these games and kind of use the games as the leverage instead of the service of online gaming as the leverage. Or at least they may require it in the fine print. I don't trust either one of them. But it might be something that they address because they realize that the online feed, if I'm just paying to play online, well, phones and PCs, we want to talk about those guys. They don't have to pay to play online. So that doesn't make a good look for our console. So let's just give them a whole bunch of games with that. And that's what Microsoft was doing. But, hey, man, I'd tell you, I'm interested to see what it is. I really never, I said, I didn't have a PS2 for long. PS1 I had. So, some of those games, I missed out a lot on the PS2 generation. That'll be interesting to play in addition. See, what did I just say? In addition to Horizon Forbidden West. In addition to God of War, Ragnarok. I'd like to try out some of those PS2 games, if that's what they're doing. In addition. Not only for the PS2 games, in addition. So, what a wild news day. And this is going to cause a lot of discussion, but you heard it here first, Grinders. I had to give you the initial impressions from Frogs and I. Thank you, Frogs, for jumping on. And all I have to say is, it's going to be a wild time, man. And you know what else is coming next year, too? That Discord integration into the dashboard. Which that's going to be some good stuff, too. So, all I'm saying is that it will be interesting times. So, go back. I encourage Grinders, if you want to see all the finesse and stuff on Twitter, go ahead, go. But it is a shit show right now. Xbox claiming victory, PlayStation fans going this is not this is not Game Pass. It's a wild time. They're like, oh, but you like to buy your games, dude. This is the flip the switch. I told you. There will be blood. Spartacus. I know. Even PSP's included. And that's what it makes no sense. I said the library. Sony has the mobile platform right there for your phone. You want to have a strap-on, but play a PSP game. Oh, shit. There you go. It's a mobile game. But they got, hey, thank you from Morocco. Nice. Samia Gaming from Morocco. Nice. But yeah, hey, before that, any grinders? We got 137 grinders in here. Dude, hit that like button. Put some things in the chat. You want to hit some chats up? Frog, I think Frog's still here. Frog, you still here? I guess Frog's still here. But yeah, ask some questions.
I'm still here.
Yeah, add some questions in the chat.
I'm doing the road to Dark Souls.
Oh,
So
damn,
come
that's
check
where
me out
you've
on
been.
my channel.
Yeah,
come check me out on my channel. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 with my homeboy. We're gonna finally go through it, beat every boss. Try to beat every single boss until the ending. I've been wanting because I got so far in this game and then I just never finished it, but I need to.
That's good. But yeah,
like
grinders. Let's see what they say. Yeah, grinders. Put some stuff in the chat. Follow Frogs. Any questions? Any things? Any hot takes? Damn. PS5, PS4, PS3, PS2. Because you remember PS5 games are not on PS Now either. But think about it. What they've been doing with PS Plus, they're merging the two of them together. So PS Plus has PS5 games in it. So if they merge it together, you're getting PS5 games in there too. And they've been doing it. They've been giving free PS5 games all year. Bug Snacks was the first. So they've been doing it. It's not like they haven't given you a PS5 game. Give Control, PS5 edition. Oh, no. Shout out to Juan Sosa Gaming with the 199. He goes, what about Xbox asking for gamer tags yesterday? Dude, that was hilarious. Frog, did you see that? Did you see the... So Xbox tweeted out, hey, you want some friends? Put down your gamer tag down here. Dude, the disconnect. I don't know if they knew what they were doing, but man, I heard that's illegal in some countries. That's like asking for people's social security. Frog, Juan Sosa says that he goes, what about Xbox asking for the gamer tags yesterday? After all that shit about the gamer tags, about they're like stealing your numbers and doxing.
Yeah, man. If anybody want my gamer tag, they can get it.
No, but Xbox was asking for it. I was like, that's gonna be like a hit list.
I tell you what was a problem is you got a lot of people who are out there, and shout out to King Thrash, man. There's a lot of people out there that talk a lot of talk, but they're not playing these games they talk about. Anybody can look at my PlayStation 4 trophy list and they can see how I play games. I'm sitting at a 5. No, I'm sorry, I'm sitting at a 415. And and this year I think I put like 50 between 53 and 55 games I beat this year. But I would say, man, I play my games and play the games you like and you love. But 400, I'm at a trophy level of 415. That's pretty good for a person who's playing consistently on their PlayStation. On my Xbox, I'll probably be sitting at like a 90,000 between my old profile and my new profile. But if I was playing on Xbox, I had said this, if I was playing on Xbox as much as I play on PlayStation, some of these guys that talk more about their Xbox and this and that, I probably, in all honesty, will probably pass them. Like I know some people who are sitting at 100,000. I'm sitting at 40,000, and I'm pretty sure in a year I can pass them.
Well, on game tag,
on an achievement score, achievement score.
Yeah, my achievement's like 98 or 99, man. Yeah, I'm like, but I haven't really played it in the last few years.
And I'm sitting at 90 something between my old profile and my new profile. I gave my old profile to my daughter because it was my very original profile I had on the very first Xbox. When I got a 360, I brought it over. So she has my original Xbox profile, and I made a new one and started over on 360. But so my gamer score altogether with both my profiles is 90.
Yeah.
But my profile now is only sitting at like 40. And I just play like the onesies and twosies, like the exclusives. But I'm pretty sure if I play as much as I played on my PlayStation, I'll probably be sitting at 100,000 before the end of the next year. And I could surpass some of these guys who claim to be Xbox guys. It's not even about being Xbox guys. It's about being a gamer. These guys don't really game, They'll tell you they'll fanboy them for their stuff, but they don't really put that time in their game.
True way at the $2. He goes, Xbox asking for your social security number by asking for gamer tag. Yeah, dude, I was on the space where the guy said it's illegal. Like, they shouldn't be asking for my gamer tag. That. You could find my address. It's like, oh my God, dude, what do you think it is? Like, it's just a gamer tag. Like, people, I don't even think anything about it. It's been in my profile forever.
You're my number one customer.
PSN, because I always thought it was a way to get, like, to turn Twitter into gaming. Like, I've met so many people. That's why I met Frogs. Like, we just like shared social media and became friends and played online. Like, I didn't think it was anything to share it. Like, People said it was like weaponized and all stuff. It's like,
and then the thing is, and here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing, Jez.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
Like,
I know.
We sit there and we help each other out, and we do like my homeboy helping out now. He got his PS5. I've been playing with this guy for years. I've known this guy for years, and we're both in the Souls. And he's like, "Yo, did you ever finish the Dark Souls, the DLC?" And I said, "Nah." He said, "Man, let's just run through it before Elden Ring came out."
Yeah,
because he knows
right.
he knows we're gonna play Elden Ring. Like we always talk about the Souls, but and I'm pretty sure. Let me tell you this. If there were people on the Xbox, they were like, "Yo, because Souls is not cross-play, and I like Souls type of games, I would play Souls on the Xbox with them. I would because I like that game." But there's some people who will shit on a game and not play it, and it's not. I'm gonna tell you at the end of the day, when it comes to just hands talent, Nintendo and Sony has it. They really do. I think when it comes to money, we know Microsoft has the money, but what is money if you just don't have the talent? Microsoft is in this for the long haul, but their long haul is totally different than Nintendo.
Dude, they're on borrowed time. I told you they're on borrowed time.
And PlayStation, and I honestly think at the end of the day, anybody who sits there and they really, if you really just look at facts, PlayStation is a force to be reckoned with. PlayStation hurt Nintendo.
Yeah.
Nintendo was the king of kings, and they hurt Nintendo. It wasn't because they had the most money. It was just because they had the talent, and they made the right business decision with PlayStation 1. PlayStation 2 was the DVD. PlayStation 3, they held on to it because they had such a good, they didn't burn bridges with publishers.
Yeah.
PlayStation 4, they got that trust back. PlayStation 5, they're in the bank. So my whole thing is like, it's not about even Microsoft being an American company, because what they did with the 360 era, they made people feel comfortable. Even though they messed up with the Red Ring, they made people feel comfortable with the console they produced. They made people feel like it was a game console.
No, it was.
They didn't make it feel like you turned it on, it was Windows PC.
Mm-mm.
Nobody wants to win. Look, nobody's talking about Windows PC this. We talk about the applications, but I can use whatever PC I need to get it done. I use mostly Mac, but what I'm saying is I still use Windows programs. If I'm not mistaken, didn't everything kind of like settled down between Mac and
they're all Office is now
they're all working together.
It's all everybody's a family now.
Do you know why Microsoft had to do that? Because it made business sense.
Yeah, they put it on Microsoft the iPad and all that stuff.
Look, and I said this before. If Microsoft has to put Halo Infinite free to play on PlayStation, they're gonna do it.
Yeah, but know what else too?
Probably tell them no, just because they know they make money hand over fist. Because you know how many people would download that game and play it on PlayStation? Like they have to do it. And and my biggest fear with Xbox, and there's always been a fear since the Xbox One generation, and really Game Pass kind of introduced it. My biggest fear is like, they'll throw all these games in there, but at what cost and what type of games are we getting? And if the product you're throwing in there is not a quality product, it don't matter if it's free to play or if it's $50 or if it's $10 less than last generation. So Halo is $59. If I'm playing Halo $59 and I'm playing it and I get a freaking, I don't know, 15-hour experience, and I felt like, hey, you could have just made this an add-on, because I feel like the multiplayer, as fun as it is, it could have been an addition to Halo 5. You see what I'm saying?
Compromise it. I thought they should just took a mode out and put a mode like they did with Warzone. See, Call of Duty didn't compromise the multiplayer, right?
What compromises Halo Infinite is the way they did their season pass. What compromised their Halo Infinite is the modes at launch with the maps. Dude, anybody can talk anything they want. Yang and all these guys making these videos. Call of Duty Vanguard sold all this.
Do you see what Ryan wrote? Ryan wrote, Microsoft is like the rich father of Rebecca Black who bought her way into the music industry. Dude, man. It's Friday. Come on, everybody. A little grind is Friday. Gonna get down on Friday.
I tell you this. I'll tell you this, and I'll say this one thing. And everybody singing. We can either agree, but facts are facts. And I think what people have a problem with nowadays in this generation, they want to so much hear. They don't want to hear facts. They just want to hear what they think. And it's like, how can you argue with facts? It's different if you're like, hey, this isn't a fact. This is your opinion. No, facts are facts. Like, PlayStation has been a dominant force since it's come to be reckoned with.
They've been building a library, dude.
I love
That's
Nintendo.
what I said.
I started with Nintendo.
Oh, did
right?
I tell you? I didn't tell you, Frux. I told you I got the Switch OLED.
Nice,
dude. So like, I did not want to get my son mentioned that he's like, I saw this and I wanted. My friend had it. I'm like, we got the Switch. You don't even play it that much. He goes, I've been trading your games and getting the money. He goes, dude, like it's so I saw it in the store. Like, so they had it on demo, and I was like, "Oh, damn, this does look good. Like, the screen is definitely much bigger. Right? It looks more futuristic Switch than the other one. The other one looked like an old version of a Switch." I was like, yes. So I saw it in the store. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Then I saw Fat Kid Deals on Twitter. Follow that guy, Fat Kid Deals, man. Dude. He said it's available. I clicked on it, and I was like, oh, whatever. Just click. It's like ordering. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, what came from the UK and it will work. So we'll see. But I'm gonna trade in the other one though.
I was on my Xbox Series X, right? And there's a store in there, and I knew there was a store in there. Yeah. And I saw the Halo Xbox, and then
you've been wanting that Halo Xbox.
It says out of stock. Well, it said available.
Nice, Josh.
And
yes.
I clicked on it, and I added it to my cart, and it wouldn't let me check out. I was sick. I kept clicking because I would have got it.
Bro, know that console like has like if you shine blacklight on it, it has like a message, like a constellation on it. That's pretty damn cool.
Yes. And
Microsoft makes some kick-ass custom consoles. That's all I'm saying. They make awesome custom consoles.
Awesome exclusive consoles. The 360 era, they had.
Oh my god, I couldn't stop getting those freaking 360. They do make some awesome consoles.
And see, that's what I'm saying. There's things that they do right when it's for fan service and it's about gaming. But when it's about, and I'm not saying don't be a business to make money, but when it's about fuck stuff.
Yeah,
they do some fuck stuff. I don't know how you can.
Yeah,
they seem to mess things up. They'll put one foot in, and you're like, great. And then next thing you know, the foot's not in there. It's just the toe, and the toe's chopped off, and it's flipping around. And they're like, "Where's my toe at?"
I know.
Well, you got it chopped off.
That's right. They do like one step forward and like jump back. Like it's like, oh, you did a good job with this. It's like, yeah, but you messed up on this. Like, dude. All I know is that it is wild times, and we will see, the Game Awards are coming next week, also Halo. So, guys, keep it locked here. We're going to be talking the Halo. We're going to be talking some games. I just beat Kana. I talked about it on Salty's podcast last night. Check that out. Kana was friggin' awesome. Frog, you got to finish it. I know you're playing your Demon Souls or whatever, Dark Souls.
Yeah, I'll try it.
Kana, it wasn't one thing I'm going to say about it, and I'm going to add, I'm going to try to timestamp this. We'll see. But one thing I have to say about Kana, everybody complained how hard it was. Like, it was challenging, but it was nowhere near like a Demon Soul. People were like, it's like a Demon Souls. It was not. It wasn't that hard. But I thought the story was really cool. The animation and the music are absolutely insane. So I encourage everybody to get that game. I hope it wins a lot of awards because it should. It's their first game from that studio, and I can't wait to see what Ember Labs does next because it's incredible.
Yeah.
The music and the animations.
I'm hoping they win something. Obviously it's not going to be a game of the year contender. No. Obviously from what the list we've seen, but I do think
definitely should get some.
I think they win some stuff. And I'm excited to like you. I'm excited to see what a lot of studios do next. I think next year is going to be a big deal because there's so many big games coming out. I think
this was like the COVID fallout this year.
Well, no, this is the typical console launch year.
Exactly, Sam. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, typical console launch year to me. Like, there was a lot of stuff that came out, nothing really directly.
Dude, they're getting on my ass. Tex-Mex Boys getting on my ass to finish Ghost of Tsushima. I know, I got to go to Iki Island.
Yeah.
I know.
Beat it, platinum it, and I've been playing Iki Island here and there.
But I was going to click on that next. I was going to play it next.
I have a lot of games that I'm playing again.
Brock, I got all these freaking games. No, I'm not, Josh. No. See? I'm not doing massive difficulty. No. Kenna, I played it. I'm not one that wants that beast, dude.
Once
I'm sure.
I played that game and I beat it, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm not going back. It was a great game, but I'm not playing massive difficulty because it was hard.
Games,
I will not deal with that again.
I don't care about the trophies and don't get me wrong. Like
2% got the platinum in that game because you got to go through it twice. You got to go through. I think you got to go through it twice. But it was good. Like, maybe, you know what? Like when Mr. Mass Produce said, like maybe go back to Kana like a couple of months from now. But like right after finishing it, I'm not going back to do it hard again. Like I'm not, Yeah, I think they're going to win. So like that, I got Far Cry 6. I got all these in the freaking
Nice.
players. I got Far Cry 6. I got Guardians of the Galaxy.
Would
I
you?
got,
Let me ask you a
I
question.
wanted to
Would
play
you-
that horror game, so I got that, the House of Ashes. That one.
Would you?
I lined up.
Would you buy Resident Evil because it's $29 on the Xbox? I guess Sony sale is over.
Resident
not
Evil
on
8.
Yeah, the new one. Yeah, it's $29 still.
I would say for $20. Oh yeah, it's worth $20. Resident Evil 8. Yeah.
Yeah, so because I don't know, like I think it's gonna drop in price again.
Nah, $20 is pretty low for it. I would say get it.
Okay.
Unless
Well, it's 20. No, it's 29. It's 29.
Oh, 29? Yeah, I would say Resident Evil 8 was pretty. It was good. I
My
liked
son
it.
said he beat it in like a day.
Yeah, it's like 8 hours, 9 hours.
Damn.
Yeah, it's not that long.
Damn, I might have. So I remember when I got Resident Evil 3, man, I was like, damn.
I felt Resident Evil 7 was even longer than 8. Like, yeah, 8 was not that long. Like, I was surprised at how quickly I finished it. And again, 8 wasn't as scary as 7. So like, it didn't really give you that suspense because you kind of have a lot of.
Wait, Los, hold on. I gotta show you something.
Oh, you got guns.
No, I'm playing. I'm talking to Dark Souls. My Dark Souls guy.
Yeah, Nelson says he enjoyed it. Resident Evil twice. I would. Resident Evil 8 it looked incredible. The story was pretty damn good. There was a cool twists and stuff like that. The way they tie it in, very interesting.
Mhm.
And I definitely think it's worth it. Like $29, definitely. Or DZA said he paid $20 for it.
Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, I'd say $20 is definitely a buy. $29 the $10. Yeah. See, it's long enough. I paid $60 for it or whatever the hell it is, and I played it in 8 hours and I was done with it. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. That's gaming. Every game can't be 20, 50 hours. But yeah, I thought 7 was better than 8, but 8 was good. I liked 8. But with that, guys, I'm gonna go get some dinner. It's Friday. That's also I think it's Friday. It's Friday. Frogs in the back seat, friends in the front. Eric got me singing a freaking Rebecca Black song. It's Friday. It's Friday. Horrible song.
Oh, God.
Spartacus. Dude, they already got the picture of friggin' the 300 kicking Xbox Game Pass down the hole. The Persian.
It's better than
they already got the meme going.
That Island Boys, that horrible song them guys sing, man. That song is fucking trash.
Dude, but they already got the meme of PS Plus or Project Spartacus already kicking the Xbox Game Pass down the hole in 300.
Gosh. That's pretty funny.
You bring Game Pass to my city steps with disease and things and tell me that you threaten us with threaten? Kick them down.
PlayStation.
This is PlayStation. Kick them down the hole. But anyway, Grinders, I want to thank everybody. What a great show. Impromptu, over 150 people watching. Hit that like button, share it out. Join the Grindhouse, everybody.
Check me out.
And check out Frog
right now. Yeah.
Are you streaming now?
I'm streaming Dark Souls 3.
Nice. So follow Frog the streaming. I'm going to go get something to eat. I'll be on gaming tonight. Spartacus is a cool ass name. I do agree. But yes, hit and join the Grindhouse. And if you want to be a VIP grinder with the party going on there, you don't be the guy crying on the outside. But anyway, hit to join the Grindhouse. And guys, hit that like button. And thank you again. It's awesome. Thank you for your support. And more stuff coming. Gaming Grindhouse news. I'm working on some transitions, some more videos. Keep it locked here, and we're ready. Have a great weekend, everybody. Keep it gaming. I'll see you online. Maybe I'll do some streaming. Check it out. Keep it locked here, everybody. Talk